as will Wisconsin. Now, they're heavy favorites over BYU. This is not a vintage BYU team. Cougars 125th in FBS football in scoring and total offense. Meanwhile, Wisconsin hasn't allowed a point in the second half this season. Only 8 FBS teams can say that. And how about the emergence of Jonathan Taylor? Freshman running back has been beyond good. As a matter of fact, he's been absolutely terrific. We're already starting to talk about him in that great pantheon of Wisconsin running backs. Probably a bit too early after just 2 games. But Les, it seems like year in and year out, new defensive coordinators, new linebackers. This Wisconsin team has been dominant defensively. You want to see them be dominant and be dominant early on both sides of the football.
Absolutely. They're a physical group. They come to play. Nice road test. You know, I think they're going to look at this and realize that certainly BYU can throw the ball, but it's the style of game that they can go in there and dominate from start to finish, and they don't have to wait to the second half.
You know, you look at Wisconsin's numbers, just, you know, defensive numbers, offensive numbers. They look like they should have won their previous games in a dominant fashion. They really haven't. I don't think they've hit their stride. This game scares the heck out of me. I think this is one of those games, Les and Rick, where the coaches understand, even though BYU is 1-2, you go there, they're playing a 10th-ranked team. They've got their guys totally fired up. This scares me that if Wisconsin gets off to a little bit of a slow start like they have the first 2 games at BYU, and the crowd gets into it and the BYU players get emotional, I think Wisconsin's going to have to be better at the start of this game than the previous 2.
At BYU, it's a huge advantage. It's a big stadium. The state comes out for them, but you know who they've played. I want you to know, if they look at Dave Aranda's game plan with LSU, BYU did not cross the 50 twice. Now that is good news, bad news. They're not good enough, or and Wisconsin doesn't believe they're good enough, and then they don't prepare, or they'll say, hey, listen, if we have the same plan, if we play with the same fight and mustard that this other club did, we can do the same things.
Of course, we're a couple of coordinators now removed from Aranda, as Justin Wilcox had that job for just 1 year before taking the head position at Cal. But some of those beliefs and strategies, they trickle down, and some of those players are still there. So great point on making that comparison as well.
They got to see Dave Aranda's defense
exactly
at LSU line right up against BYU. It doesn't have to, it translates extremely well.